Hello, people. How's everybody doing today? I decided to go on YouTube today. Um, keep my computer keeps freezing, so I apologize for that. It's probably the weather because it's raining here. It's been pretty muggy all morning. So anyway, I figured uh, this morning when I was about ready to paint, everything just dropped, my paint and everything. So I had to pick it up and put it back, but I didn't get no paint on the floor, which is a good thing. So what I'm thinking of doing today is I'm gonna be doing a cityscape. So I already got my straight line. I use ruler sometimes for straight lines, but when I do a cityscape, I don't really use a ruler. I just do squares in my mind. Good. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just had surgery done. I had a basal cell carcinoma, and it went pretty well. Don't worry, people. It didn't really hurt. They numb your nose pretty well, so you can't feel pain. So I'm pretty much recovered now. It only took a week. This side took longer because it was more deep and stuff. But I'm just glad I recovered well. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a cityscape. So I'm going to start. I'm going to do a blue one. I'm going to make buildings. What I'm going to do is do the line, cover the pencil mark, and all these buildings will be like blue. You can do your cityscape however many, whatever color you want. You don't have to use blue actually. You can use red. I did a red cityscape one time. It ended up looking cool. Everything was red. Even the sky was red. So I'm just gonna do something easy today. And to me, a cityscape is very easy. It doesn't really take much to do with it. All you do is pretty much do squares, rectangles, whatever. I always thought cityscapes, trees are pretty easy for me right now. Um, they can be hard at first when you first start, but once you get it, then you're okay. So this one's going to be kind of a round building. You can make round buildings, you can make square buildings. It doesn't really matter what you make. I always thought painting was so much fun. Well, it is. I mean, it's one of my hobbies. I love doing it. Um, I would love to sell them more, but I haven't sold. Well, I have sold a couple of paintings, but I haven't sold too many. Um, and this one is gonna be rectangle again. And guys, don't feel bad if you make a mistake. Everybody I know makes mistakes. It's just the way it is. that, and I'm gonna do one of those. What do you call them? And then do another building. Like I said, you can actually. I'm just gonna. It didn't turn out very well. If it doesn't turn out, you can always cover it like that. So no big deal. You don't know how many mistakes I've made in my paintings, and at first I felt bad about it. Now I'm like, well, it's gonna happen. Mistakes are gonna happen. So now I'm gonna do the road or whatever. Um, do that brown, this spark brown. Even if it blends in, that's fine, because you kind of want it to blend in together. See, when I paint, I don't use much paint. I just use very little paint in the palette, so that way I don't waste it. I don't like to waste paint. And now I'm gonna add white, so I can kind of put white in there. I almost need a lot of white because I kind of use a lot of white. I'm using the same brush. I just got white on my fingers now. Yes, we will get dirty doing this, but you know what? It's good dirt, not bad dirt. What you want to do is go between the buildings, make it look like it's two separate buildings. Yeah, I'm just so glad that I recovered very well. And I didn't even have to be in the hospital, so that's another good thing. Because I really don't, well, I mean, I don't like being in the hospital unless it's something really, really bad. So as you can see here, I just did the white. With the round building, you can do the roof. And I just go like this. Make it kind of round. And now what I'm going to do is do the sky and use blue and white to do the sky. And you can like mix it with a brush, which I usually mix it with a palette knife, but I want the sky kind of pretty light. Not too light, not too dark. And if it's too dark, you just add more white. Like that. That's what I'm talking about, the sky. So, do this. Still too dark. So I don't want to match the buildings. So you can't really see the buildings if it matches. So I painted now. Um, I think when the first time I painted, it might have been, could have been already 3 years already. It's like time goes so fast. Yeah, I think it was 3 years that I painted. So I'm pretty much of a professional, if you might say, to some extent. I mean, there are better painters. Well, I can't say better, but there are good painters out there. They can just paint really, really, really well. And yes, I do paint better than I did when I first started. You get the Once you start painting, you get the feel of your techniques and what brushes to use and stuff like that. It's pretty easy. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like make this part. There we go. So I don't want to make it too dark. See how I made the buildings kind of separate, looking separate instead of all one. Because if you don't put like a line between buildings, it'll look like you just got one building. So now you have to do the windows, and I'm going to do that probably white. Since I got a lot of white paint here, you have to be very, very careful. Well, let's do it again. Make sure your white doesn't drip. Let's see. I need a smaller brush. Just these windows are too big. It's alright for this building right here, but my windows are way too big. So I need a smaller brush. Um, so I can find a small brush. I got all these brushes and I can't figure out this one. That one's perfect. This is a smaller flat brush that I need. So I'm going to kind of make them square, not rectangular. I love making cityscapes. I sometimes will make an ocean scene, and I'm trying to learn how to paint boats and cruise boats and stuff like that. Okay, this one I'm gonna put like a round window, kind of like, because it's gonna be a round um, It's gonna be around buildings, so okay. With my paintings, I always like to be unique. I don't like to follow. Well, sometimes I'll follow pictures if I'm interested in something. I'll paint it. Like I do paint by numbers too, and some of those pictures I do with paint by numbers, I will paint on canvas. Some of them, not all of them. I don't really get. I mean, I do paint a lot of them, but I don't paint all of them on canvas. It's really fun to paint buildings and houses, and I can also paint houses. It's kind of fun. I mean, I like to paint different kinds of houses, big houses, small. Well, I know how to paint the small houses, but I like to paint the big houses. I like to know how to paint the big houses. One more here. And also make sure you have quite a bit of paint in your brush when you're painting. That way you don't have all these smears, because when you don't have much on your brush, you'll kind of tend to smear. Now doors, doors. I guess those doors are pretty good. I mean, this one's gonna be like a or triangle scores door. Now your doors don't have to all be square or rectangle or whatever. They can go around. Just make your paintings all unique. You don't have to paint the same thing I paint unless you want to. Because a lot of my paintings are pretty simple, but then there are some that aren't. So this one's kind of white because that way you know it's a roof. There. Now I might paint a little car. I like to paint cars. um, Start with white. I'm just gonna paint a small car. I'm not gonna make it too big. To me, it's kind of hard to paint real tiny. I always have a hard time with it, but I think this is gonna be good. It's gonna be so fun to teach painting, like in real life. Not so much on YouTube, but real life, it'd be so much fun. Now, keep this car kind of brown. I'm trying to make several cars. Because since this is a cityscape, I'll just make several cars. Cars are pretty easy to do too. When you do cars, don't press on the brush too much. Because they're supposed to be pretty small, so you gotta kind of press on it a little bit. Usually I try to take my time on my paintings and just kind of detail it and focus on it, but shoot. 2 cars. As you can see how small these cars are. They're really small. But I like them that way because now this one, let me see if I can make a car different than the others. So this one's going to be like a, this one might be just like a convertible. So might rain all day, folks. It's here. Sounds like it's going to rain all day. Which I don't mind rain too much. That one's kind of convertible, so oh, I'll make one more car. Thought I'd make small cars, but I guess I can. See, when I put my mind to stuff, it works out real good. If I don't put my mind to it, then I'll miss it. This one's probably a truck. Yep. I like my cars. It's so cute. Really cute how I did that. I'm so proud of myself. And then after you paint, you can pat yourself on the back and say, I did a good job. That's what I try to do every time I paint. Pat myself on the back and say, I did a good job. I didn't know I can do it, see? See, now this is a cityscape. I put cars in there and stuff like that. Turned out really good. Now, um, Gotta make the tires. So I'm gonna have to use black guys for the tires because maybe I usually don't use black. So I don't really like black that much. But for tires and stuff, I'll put in consideration. Um, go real slow on the tire so you don't mess it up. What I'm doing. It makes it look more like a car if you put black tires on. I think it looks cool. There. So now, I don't know if I should make people. Mm, just put lines down like this. You know how streets have lines? You don't have to make real long lines either. Mm, I think it looks cool with lines though. It's more like a street. And then, um, if you want to, you can always like do this over a little sidewalk or something. And there's my seascape. Pretty cool, I like it. That one's probably the best one. Well, the other ones I made, but this probably is one of the best ones I did. Because I added cars to it. The other ones I didn't add cars, I just had buildings. But this is the best one yet. So now, I'm just wondering if I should add people. Um, oh, I can do that. I can add a crosswalk. That's right. I can add a crosswalk. Two crosswalks. Lord, I'm gonna put white stripes on and make it look like of course, if you put too much paint on your brush, you'll drip too, so just be careful. You don't want it to drip either. And then if you put too much weight, just wipe it on the edge of your uh, palette. I can't talk today. Um, but these are crosswalks, so um, have to make a, there. Now you can see it has a crosswalk. One over here, one over there. And I wish I could add some. Actually, you know what? I can add some street lights. And I'll make it look really, really cool. You don't have to add a street light to every single building, but now it's some yellow, yellow, or orange. I think yellow looks really good. This is gonna be so cool. I'm excited. This is gonna be the coolest. Don't mind me. I'm a little weird today because I'm so excited. There's one, there's two, there's three. Now on needs is clouds. Let's see. Okay. You might want to rinse off your brush so you don't end up getting a black cloud like I did. I just go circles to make clouds. It's not really hard. For some of you it probably is because if you're a first time painter, things can be kind of overwhelming for you. But don't let that stop you from painting. Never ever tell yourself you can't do this or you can't do that. And never ever have other people tell you can't do it. Because that was the thing that I had to go through, that people would tell me I can't do this or can't do that. And I would get extremely discouraged about it. But now I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. I set my mind to it and I can do it. It's as simple as that. You turn your mind to your paintings and you think, oh, I can paint this. And it happens automatically. I got, I do, I do a lot of these paintings in my imagination. I don't use any pictures unless I have a paint by number that I really like. I'll kind of copy that painting, but I haven't done that very often, so it's fun to use your imagination. It's much funner than using a picture. At least you can, at least you can think that it's yours. It's your painting. You don't. have to copy every single painting. Um, I follow painters on YouTube, and I don't paint exactly what they do. Um, I get like um, ideas for the background or whatever, but I don't paint the exact same thing. And they're really good painters too. So don't feel bad if you can't do what they do, because what is more important is what you put in your mind and what you paint for yourself. Don't worry about what other people think, because then it's going to just make you more discouraged. But anyway, put another cloud. And you could put as many clouds as you want. You could put one or two, or big clouds, small clouds, storm clouds. Doesn't really matter because it's your painting. Now, with the doors, be like this. These are sliding glass doors. And they kind of have to look like sliding glass doors. So yeah, but I think I do really, really well. Better than I ever have been. Um, and of course, I haven't cleaned much either. I've been kind of slacking, but that's okay because you can take a break a little bit instead of painting all the time. Just take a break. Just take a break out of your busy day and just breathe and relax and don't worry about anything. So I figured I'd do a cityscape for you guys because it's so much fun to paint that, and it's fun to paint anything really, but the only basically I have the only basic thing I have to work on is animals. Animals can be a little bit tricky, but and butterflies 'cause I love butterflies. Flowers I do pretty good. I don't need to really practice that anymore. But flowers can be tricky too when you first start painting. And don't get discouraged. Um, we all we all start somewhere, right? Anyway, well, I guess that's it for now. I got all the cars, I got all the lights, I get the cityscapes up. So I guess that's it for now. What I gotta do is sign my name, but I usually sign my name on the back. If it's too dark in the front, I'll sign in the back. But that's all for now, and everybody stay cool and warm if it's cold out. Um, Take care, everybody. Bye now.